Hello everyone, Shane1288 here with your weekly RuneScape Byte for Monday, September 16th, 2019. We're back this week with a game update, and this week sees the launch of the player-owned farm changes. These are the changes that players have been dreading for the most part, or in my case, have been looking forward to. These have finally been brought into game, and I personally believe that this is a net buff for experience if you have the money and you know what you're doing, so let's dive in. Starting off, Harvest XP has been reduced by 50%. The XP that you get is now based on happiness and health, and Harvest XP is also boosted by stat boosting gear and bonus XP. It's worth noting that you can boost happiness with delicious honeycomb, which you farm by placing marigolds in the beehives, and medicinal honeycombs boost health, which can be farmed by placing woad leaves in the honeycombs. Also, shiny animals now give a 25% XP boost instead of 10% as they did previously. So this means that with a shiny animal, double XP, stat boosting gear, and full health and happiness, you're going to be getting about 35% more XP than you were previously, factoring in all of the farming boosts that exist. The breeding rate outside of breeding pens has also been reduced. Small pens will take 1.5 times as long, medium pens twice as long, and large pens will take 3 times as long. This is, of course, outside of the breeding pen. Also now, the collector will only hold 10 animals of each breed for a maximum of 30 possible animals. Animals will now also eat 1 piece of food every hour, up from having a chance to eat 1 food every 2 hours. Finally, to help those working on the breeding log and make it easier to obtain shiny animals, shiny boosting traits have been increased, and traits are more likely to be passed on to the animal's offspring. This is, of course, called increased heredity. Also this week, a new bank placeholders and improvements beta will launch tomorrow on Tuesday, and this is what's intended to ship at the end of the month. So play the beta, tell Jagex your thoughts if you have any of them, share them to your favorite social media channels, and of course be civil when sharing your thoughts on the new bank rework beta. We'll have full coverage of these updates and more on this week's episode of RSBANDB Update. Now on to some of the patch notes for this week. An issue where some of the curse prayers would stall the player and fail to initiate a Telos encounter has been fixed. The broadcast message for completing the Anachronia base camp will no longer trigger when building bait boxes, as they are not required for the achievements. Players will now be able to claim the Tyrannan Quiver 4 from Elin and Prifdinus, who is located in the Max Guild. The Giant End Familiar now correctly gives a 50% chance to gather an extra item when harvesting trees and patches. The Giant End also now triggers correctly when using the Patch Bomb or the Farming Skill Cape perk. And the Giant End will now state how many extra resources were obtained when using Patch Bombs or the Farming Skill Cape perks. Patch Bombs now also work with Strange Rocks, Skill Pets, and Farming Urns. The Perfect Juju Farming Potion now gives Harmony Moss when using Patch Bombs or the Farming Skill Cape perk as well. The Magic Secateur Harvesting Boost is now consistent for Fellstock and Bloodweed herbs. This will result in slightly higher quantities of Fellstock and Bloodweed being harvested from a farming patch when Magic Secateurs are used. An issue has also been fixed with text colors in the achievements window being hard to differentiate, and an issue has been fixed in the worn equipment interface that was causing the slot indicator to be offset when an equipment slot was empty. That's it for the weekly Byte. We'll be back this weekend for another full episode of RSBANDB Update right here on this YouTube channel. If you found this video at all useful, like and subscribe, and we'll see you this weekend.